This story was sent in by Amit, who once stayed in an old college hostel in a distant city. Amit got the chance to stay in a large old hostel during his first year of medical college. The room he was allocated was room number 5. Compared to the other rooms, this room was noticeably colder and had a strangely airy atmosphere. For the first few months, there was no problem, but as winter began, the strange incidents started occurring. In the middle of the night, he would suddenly feel an icy coldness in a specific spot in his room, as if someone were standing there. One night, while Amit was in a deep sleep, he clearly heard someone whispering right next to his ear, but no words were discernible. Fear froze his body. The next day, his books and papers were found scattered under the bed, even though everything had been neatly arranged on the table before he went to sleep, presence of an invisible force. The older students in the hostel informed him that many years ago, a student had committed suicide in that very room. Since then, such mysterious incidents have been occurring in room 5. Many avoid staying in that room out of fear. The incident reached its peak on a full moon night. Amit was studying when he suddenly looked towards the window and saw a faint, tall shadow staring back at him. The shadow's eyes seemed to glow in the dark. Amit shut his eyes in terror. The very next moment, he felt someone forcefully yanking the sheet off his feet. He couldn't even scream. No sound would come out of his throat. The moment of terror. After somehow enduring that night, Amit immediately moved out of room 5 and into a different mess the very next morning. He still hasn't forgotten the experience of that night, and no one in that hostel dares to stay in room 5 anymore. R.J. Russell concludes by saying,
Before we begin the next part of the story, please subscribe to the channel. So let's start the next segment. Today's story has been sent to us by Rumi from Khulna, who has shared a dark chapter from her life. The incident began when Rumi's family returned to their ancestral home after nearly 20 years. The house had been vacant for a long time, and the moment Rumi stepped inside, she felt an unnatural chill and the smell of old dust. 1. The eerie environment and the first sign. In the beginning, small things would happen. Occasional sounds of dishes clattering would come from the kitchen, but there was no one there. But there was a sealed room at the back of the house that no one could enter. The room felt as cold as ice, even in the summer. On the very first day, Rumi's grandmother had warned them, "Be careful, someone else has a claim on this house." Soon after, Rumi's younger brother Arif, who was only 5 years old, started talking to an invisible friend while playing. Arif called his friend Amol. 2. The arrival and authority of Amol. Initially, no one in the family took Arif's imaginary friend seriously. But gradually, Amol's presence began to surface vividly. Arif would laugh alone at night and speak in a deep voice using languages that could not be understood. At night, they would hear the sounds of nails scratching on the bedroom door while they slept, marks which were not visible in the morning. One day, Arif woke up in the middle of the night crying and said that Amol had asked him to bring some things that Arif did not understand. It was then that Rumi and his family realized that this was no ordinary imagination. Some malevolent force was using their son. 3. The arrival of the Huzur or exorcist and the conflict. Terrified, Rumi's father called a well-known Huzur from afar. As soon as the Huzur entered the house, he sighed and said, "A powerful jinn has taken possession of this house and considers it his own property." In the evening, when the Huzur began reciting the holy verses over Arif, everyone shuddered at the transformation of the boy. His eyes turned red, foam came out of his mouth, and he started screaming with an abnormal force that was impossible for a 5-year-old child. At one point, Arif tried to push the Huzur to the ground. 4. The climax and the aftermath. As the jinn attempted to leave Arif's body, it turned the room into a battlefield. Furniture floated in the air and shattered with a loud noise. At one point, the jinn directly picked Arif up and slammed him against the wall. the Huzur somehow managed to use his spiritual power to confine the jinn within a bottle. Arif gained consciousness, weakened but returned to normal. However, the Huzur gave the family a strict warning. This house is now a shelter for a curse. Leave immediately today and never look back. The next day, the family abandoned all their belongings and sold the house for a nominal price, closing the chapter on Khulna. Rumi says that since that incident, their family has never been able to settle peacefully in one place. They still believe that the jinn from that old house